It's time to grow and scale your coaching business the impact-driven, simple and sustainable way. Welcome to Rising Coaches with Sofia Bernardi. I'm your host, Sofia, mindset and business coach, supporting ambitious new and rising coaches to master their mindset, create an aligned and profitable strategy, and grow a six-figure business and beyond using the Rising Coach method. I built a $1 million business by the age of 26 in under 4 years, and I've coached hundreds across the globe to build incredible businesses that create freedom and fulfillment whilst having a whole lot of fun along the way. And in this podcast, I will teach you the mindset, strategy, and energetics to do the same. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Rising Coaches with Sofia Bernardi. Today, I am jumping in with a super fun and great episode on the exact strategy of how my client made $17,776 after just 3 weeks of working with me in my mastermind, Rise to Six. Now, just for confidentiality reasons, I'm not going to be using her name, but this client in particular had already had foundations set in her business. I'm going to just share a huge disclaimer there. She did not start at zero. She had clients already in her business, but she decided to work with me because she wanted to take things to the next level. She had stayed really stagnant with where she was for quite some time, and also it wasn't that consistent. Some months were significantly lower than others, and she really wanted to stabilize her high months and also make them higher, right? And so that's why she decided to work with me. She'd been following me for quite some time, really loved my energy, obviously loved my results, and just trusted and knew that I could help her. She'd attended a few of my free events and just had seen me in the online space for quite some time. And she's actually from Adelaide, where I lived up until earlier this year as well. So maybe that helps too. But she had definitely heard some really positive words from those in her world, and that always helps too. So yeah, she decided to start working with me, and yeah, she wasn't at zero. Want to share that in full transparency. However, she's definitely made some huge leaps from working with me in such a short period of time. Now we've probably been together for about 2 months, and she's still signing clients on repeat. And I swear every single time I open Facebook, she's celebrating having signed a new client. She's such a gem to work with. I love her energy and her action taking. And in this episode, I'm going to share with you 3 things in particular that she specifically did that has allowed her to make this income and sustain it now for a couple of months, and just I don't see that stopping anytime soon. It's only gotten better, which is really, really awesome and makes my heart so full. And I'm extremely proud of her, and I just want everyone to experience this. But she's got certain traits that she applies and did specific things. And I'm going to share that with you right now. So let's dive in. Firstly, when someone joins my mastermind, I have an onboarding call with them. So I have a one-on-one call where I make sure they're fully set up in the program. They understand how to use the support, because there is extensive support in my mastermind, from one-on-one coaching to graphic design support to tech support and message support and weekly calls and workshops and courses and all of the things. And I want to make sure people really know their place, like where to reach out for this support. It is really simple and straightforward, but I always like to really walk people through it to make sure that they have the best 6 months minimum experience with me possible. So that's number 1 we do on the onboarding call. But then after we set someone up, we then we look at their target audience, their offer, and their current strategy, and make the necessary and relevant tweaks so that they can go to the next level. And so the first thing we did together was get ultra clear and confident on her offers. I could definitely see that she wasn't charging enough with her offers for her level of expertise, and that her I help statement, or her niche or target audience, whatever you want to call it, could just be slightly more refined and clear as well. So we made tweaks to her I help statement. We really fleshed out her offers because they were sort of overlapping each other and a bit all over the place. So we refined that and got the pricing really, really clear. So that's the first thing she did that made a big difference, was getting clear and getting confident on that. So the lesson I want you to ask yourself, or the takeaway here is, are you clear on your target audience, and are you clear on your offers, and does the pricing of your offers reflect the brand you want to create and the goals you want to reach? All of that needs to align, from the target audience to the offer to the price point to your goals. That all needs to be in alignment, and you need to feel good about it. So good, clear, and it needs to be strategic and intentional. So check yourself there in that. So that's what we did with her. And once we fine-tuned that and she felt really good about that, then she was ready to go. In terms of the strategy, I support my clients to create a personalized funnel/strategy based on them and their goals with where they're at and what they're wanting to create. So for her, we created a strategy where she was going to be using primarily Facebook, but also a little bit of Instagram. But Facebook was definitely her core platform. We leveraged a private Facebook community for her. So we did that. And we also, updated, her new I help statement/offers like across her profile, and just got her posting consistently like on that kind of topic or wavelength, should I say. And then from the funnel that we created for her using Facebook/a Facebook group and other Facebook groups, on top of that, what we then did is I got her to run an online event, and she is such an action taker. She just immediately went right into it and ran an event and followed my strategy to a T, and that is ultimately what got her signing so many clients, and which resulted in making almost $18,000 within those few weeks. So she promoted her event and then ran it and then had a cart open period, and the clients just kept flooding in. And so that's what she did. So got ultra clear and confident on her niche and offers, then ran an event using my formula. And then the third thing that she did was leveraged, like I said, her Facebook group through simple strategies of doing lives in her group and booking a call to speak with her about working together at the end of those lives and in her content in the groups, which resulted in sales calls, which then resulted in sales because she's, good at that. And so that's the three things that she did. She did, a refinement on her offers in her niche. She followed my online event formula, and then she leveraged a Facebook group, other Facebook groups, and simple strategies within that process, essentially. So that's the nutshell. But what I want to speak to you about right now is equally outside of the strategy, her behavior and her mindset, because this is a really key component to success in business. So 3 weeks is not a long period of time, but in 3 weeks, she ran an event like from start to finish. She did sort of like a shorter version of it, but she did that. She made the changes to her group. She made the changes to her offer and her I help statement, and she showed up massively during that 3 weeks. So she didn't just sit there and dabble her way and twiddle her thumbs and think like Sophia's going to come solve, all my problems, or I'll take action eventually. No, she took immediate massive action. And I'm not saying hustle yourself to the ground or burn yourself out or anything like that, but I am saying if you want quick results, then you yourself have to take big, massive action. Like the action goes along with the result, and that is what she did. She didn't just be like, I'm going to plan this event for months on end and just take her sweet time. Like she got right into it, and I mean that in the most loving way. Like that, of course, you can take as long as you want and do whatever you want, but if you want results in 3 weeks like that, that's what she did. Yes, she had foundations in place, but you can have foundations and you can have an audience there, and if you don't know how to leverage them, you're not going to sign clients. So that is why I taught her how to leverage the audience she has a lot better and attract new people into her space. And that is what we did. So it was really, really cool to see that. So the key trait that I see in her is that she takes massive quick action. Like that's not only my favorite kind of client to work with, but that's also exactly what it was she did. So I'm not surprised from that aspect that she got this result that quickly. Second thing that she's done is she has showed up to all the calls in my programs, and she asks for support several times a week. So if she has a question, she doesn't just sit there and for hours on end trying to figuring it out or whatever. She leans into the support. She asks questions. She likes picking my brain about what I do, why I do things, how I do things, and therefore I lean into that experience and answer those questions for her, because I love answering questions and supporting my clients. It's my favorite thing ever, because I just love knowing that they're taking action, they're showing up for themselves. And this doesn't mean that if you're reflecting in like how you behave with your coach or in the program you're in, doesn't mean that you have to constantly bombard them or anything like that. In fact, sometimes you might go a week or 2 weeks without speaking to your coach, and that's likely because you feel really deeply supported. At least that's the positive assumption I make about my clients, is that if they don't reach out, it's because they're happy and they know what they're doing and they're content. And if they ask questions, I'm so here for that as well. But I'd so much rather someone ask for support and ask questions than be stuck and not ask for support, is the point I'm trying to make. She didn't allow herself to stay stuck. She asked for support and then was able to move forwards efficiently. So first, quick action taking. Second, leaned into support. Are you an ambitious female coach who's making an income in your business but not quite where you want to be yet financially? If so, I have a free training for you to help you to scale your business to 6 figures and beyond. You can access it right now for free by clicking the link in the show notes. Enjoy. And the third piece that I'm going to share here that I think is really key that isn't spoken about enough is the fact that she took messy action. So you can imagine if you've gone from not knowing certain things to entering someone's program and then within a 3-week period applying that all perfectly, like you're dreaming. You're not just going to apply everything perfectly from the second you join someone's program. But she didn't wait for it to be perfect. She didn't wait for it to be right or do the whole thing from start to finish and all these. Like, she just did the best she could with what she had so that she could move forwards quickly. And also, by the way, when I talk about that she was taking quick action, I'm not saying that she was doing it from a place of urgency and scarcity. She was actually doing it from a place of passion and excitement, by the way. That's actually a really cool and important differentiator there, because those two energies will get you vastly different results. Like, you want to be in the excitement and passion energy more often than not, for sure. But she didn't wait for things to be perfect. She focused on progress over perfection. And I really believe that that's why she gets results in her business consistently and is continuing to grow, because she's willing to try things. She's willing to be quote unquote wrong. She's willing to make mistakes and does not beat herself up about that. I don't even know what a mistake is in business, right? Like, sure, we can do some things better than others, but ultimately, like, you're always just learning and growing. And she was just willing to lean into that. She didn't compare her business to mine, or she didn't compare to anyone for that matter, or think like, am I doing this right? Sure, she might have asked a few questions of like, what do you think about this? Should I do it this way? And things like that. But they were really optimistic questions to be able to take action. But she didn't wait for like every graphic to be perfect or to have pre-planned things months in advance. Like, sure, organization can be key, but also doing things more in the moment sometimes is really helpful, especially if you're eager to just dive into things. She didn't wait for it to all be set up and ready and all of that sort of stuff. She was making tweaks throughout the launch, which is what I do every time as well. And that's totally fine. So she's taking consistent action. She's focused on progress over perfection. And she's really leaned into the support in front of her. And that's how you can make the most out of working with your mentor and get the results that you want. When you take action, you're building and you're testing and you're iterating, and you're not needing for it to be perfect or involving any sort of comparison or judgment towards yourself or others in that process, right? That to me is just super key. Am I saying everyone needs to be exactly like her? No, like, everyone's on their own journey. I am naturally a very ambitious person and, dive into things with a lot of excitement. But does that mean I'm always just running on this hamster wheel, like jumping onto the next thing and always feeling like a massive action taker? No, everyone goes through different seasons in their life and feeling differently and all of these things. And she happens to be in a season where she's feeling a lot of momentum because she felt really aligned with the decision to work with me as well, and just has really dived on into that experience. And so please don't compare yourself to my client or compare yourself to me or anyone else that for that matter. I more just wanted to share this episode to share some qualities that I see really serve people and also strategies that I see really serve people. She's focused on one core offer, one social media platform for the most part, like one strategy that's attracting and nurturing and converting people. She's making tweaks and using really simple strategies as well. And it's just the consistency of that that is allowing her to get results. Like, before working with me, she wasn't doing sales calls, and now she is outside of events, because you're not always in a launch or an event, and to have clients coming in your world in between that can be really powerful. And sometimes having a call with someone is the difference of whether they work with you or they don't. So I have a lot of clients that start working with me without a call, but I also have a lot of clients that absolutely have a call with me, and it's made a big difference on that connection and nurturing standpoint. So her adding that as the call to action off the back of her live videos that she does in her Facebook group, like, has made a big difference as well, just like converting people that come into her world in that moment that feel a strong connection to her. So you definitely need to have that alignment across the board and be willing to lean into the experience. In a nutshell is my takeaways for you today. I repeated myself so much in that episode, but I really wanted to just get these core lessons and traits across to help you. So I want you to really reflect, like, is everything in alignment? And I don't mean is everything perfect, I mean is everything in alignment? And are there little tweaks that you can make? Maybe asking for the sale more, showing up more, taking more action, or leveraging the support that you have with your mentor or coach more so that you could get better or faster results. Because these results are possible for everyone. There's no magical trait or thing about this client in particular that others can't access and lean into as well. So I hope that this episode has given you, some things to reflect on and see if there's anything that's out of alignment. Like, if you want to have a 17 closer to $18,000, 3 weeks, but your pricing is like $900 or $997, like, you need to sign like a lot of clients to get there, right? It's like, whereas if your offer and your pricing is at a higher standpoint, then you actually need to convert less people, which is going to make it easier for you to scale. So that's a big part of growing and scaling, is just making sure that you're making your life easier rather than harder. So I hope that this has served you. If you've got any questions on this topic whatsoever, come message me on Instagram at Sofia Rose Bernardi so that I can answer anything for you and dive deeper, because I would love to see you smash your financial goals and create the business of your dreams. I'll see you in the next episode. If you thoroughly enjoyed this episode, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could take a moment to hit that subscribe button. Your support fuels our mission to bring you even more valuable content every week. It truly means the world to me. My promise to you is that if you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, I'll continue making incredible episodes such as this every week to help you to grow and scale your coaching business. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next episode.